Welcome to episode 2 of Discussion Sentai Loserger. I'm Loser Blue,
And I'm a loser yellow.
and this is a podcast where we discuss the newest episodes of Kamen Rider and Super Sentai. This week we're going to talk about Kamen Rider Zeztz, episode 2, and Gozyuger episode 30, because Yellow got caught up in a week.
Yeah.
We'll start with Rider because we only did Rider last week, and I guess that's will just be the format from now on. Start with Rider. So, what did you think of Zeztz episode 2, Yellow?
Zeztz episode 2 was pretty cool. Still no opening. Rip.
Yeah, I'm almost curious. Is Shout like cutting the openings?
I don't believe so, because I tried finding the opening on YouTube as well, and it just appears that there isn't one yet.
Okay, that's fine.
Because the opening played for credits again.
Yeah, and the credits were like, overlaid on top of the episode, so
Right.
there wasn't like a proper credit sequence or anything like that. So these episodes are just a little long, so they're cutting the openings. Which fair. There's a decent amount going on in these
Yeah,
episodes.
we're still early on in the series. A lot of plot is happening still.
There's a lot of like setup and having to explain things to the audience in this episode in particular.
A lot of my notes revolve around questions I had that were then answered in the episode itself. So it's like, okay, I'm starting to understand this. They're setting this up pretty decently.
Yeah, we're starting to get a better idea as to how everything's gonna flow. We don't have a full idea as to how everything's gonna flow in like as we get to more like episodic-esque stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But we have a much better idea. We learn in this episode exactly kind of what the nightmares are doing. They make like a really bad dream happen, and by doing that, they're allowed to take over the human body,
Yes.
which is exactly what I predicted in the last episode. I was like, they're going to be taking over people's bodies,
Mm-hmm.
or like manifesting reality, or something like that. So we learn that this episode, which is good. It allows, it sets up the stakes and stuff, but we're not entirely sure, I guess, how to fix it, like how to deal with it, because the main character goes into the dream at the end. I'm kind of skipping to the end of the episode a little bit, but we're talking about the mechanics, so it's fine. And he's fighting the monster, but at the end he's kind of like, this is Mr. Policeman's dream. Why is he dreaming this? And I'm thinking that there's going to be something where they can't just beat the monster, like they actually have to solve some underlying issue with the dreamer, right?
Right.
So he's gonna have to like deal with some underlying issue with the police officer in real life in order to somehow solve the dream. Or like in the first episode, the mission was to save the girl, but it was his dream, or protect the target or something like that.
Yeah.
It was his dream, and he did that at the end. So maybe he has to let the dreamer do the thing.
It's possible.
Like this mission was stop the bomber, so maybe he doesn't beat the monster. He has to somehow get the dreamer, our police officer, whose name is
Fujimi.
Fujimi. Okay. Yeah. He has to somehow get like dream Fujimi to stop the bomber, something like that. Maybe the dreamer themselves has to end the nightmare. We'll see exactly how that works out come next episode probably.
Yeah.
And we see in like the dream there's like the 3 doors.
Yes, that's something I didn't bring up last week that I noticed, because those doors showed up twice. And I had them in last week's notes. I'm like, hey, that's a cool looking door. Is that just a part of like this hideout or what have you?
Yeah.
And then they showed up again. And I have it down
Yeah.
here as both the dream door and the mind's door. And it seems like the nightmare manifests itself out of this door.
Yeah, well, we see like 3 doors, and there's one of them opens to show all the police cars on fire, right? So I guess it's something like whenever the nightmare like completes a bad dream, because he completed the bad dream the first time, he blew up all the police cars, right?
Yeah.
it opens a door, and if he opens all the doors, then he gets to take over the body, or something like that. So like the nightmare has to do multiple bad dreams in order to take over. That way we can like have multiple action sequences, and we can learn a little bit about the dreamer each time.
Right.
Stuff like that is, I'm guessing, how the mechanic is going to work.
Yeah, we'll find out for sure.
Yeah, we'll find out how it all works.
Why does everyone dream about Nem?
Yeah, that is something. The Fujimi says that, and
Natsuka.
Natsuka,
Yeah.
also says that she dreams of Nem. So like Nem is obviously like a big celebrity in the world, but she's got to be some kind of like magical dream entity too, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like there's something special about her. Technically, actually, Dream Nem, who showed up in Fujimi's dream with the main character, knew it was a dream. She stated it was a dream, and she's playing her role.
Yeah, it's like, oh yeah, my job here is to be a cop. Last time I was hired to be a damsel in distress.
Yeah, so like I think she's some kind of magical dream entity that's also entering people's dreams to do like a particular role.
Mm-hmm.
Just like kind of our main character is. Maybe she's another member of this dream organization in some capacity. Although why she would then kind of hinder our main character is a bit iffy, but whatever. That was her role, and she gets into her roles. That's what it was stated.
I did have a question in my notes early on, which is proving to be somewhat true. Is, do people share realities in dreams? And yes, people are sharing realities in dreams. But is it like one connected like world, like a reflection of real life? Or is it just like individualized dream realities?
So you're thinking like, is the dream world like a big collective unconscious?
Yes,
or
that's exactly what I'm thinking.
So my guess is that they're like separate dreams. It's like a person's individual dream. It's just our main character is entering those dreams. That's why him and Fujimi shared a dream, because he entered Fujimi's dream.
Okay.
That would be my guess as to how it works, and it's also why the main character didn't have as much control over that dream. You know, he wakes up and he says, normally I have control over my lucid dreams, but things didn't go right that time. Because the cops were after him and he didn't have full control. Things weren't going his way, because it's not his dream.
Right. He did have some control over the dream.
Yeah.
Because he was, like, pulling in the sides of the walls, making it narrow.
Yeah, he was doing that, but I think that's, like, just a writer power in general. Like,
Okay.
You know, that's just part of his power set. He can affect dreams in weird ways, but he didn't have the same level of control he did in his first dreams.
Right.
We see the first power-up this time. We don't get to see a lot of it.
We did. The good old spiky leg.
Yeah, well, it's called Transform, and it lets him do weird shapeshifty stuff. It gives him like orange bracers on like his arms and feet. So it wasn't like a full like form change. It felt more like, you know, like a tool or a power.
Yeah, like an addition. I'm trying to find like another example in Rider where something like this happened.
Well, I'm thinking, I don't know, Drive and his different tires.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
The form didn't change, but he got like a different tire.
Right.
And based on what I've seen, like we've seen a bunch of the forms on like, I don't know, promotional shots or something. I don't know. It's all on like the wiki. Like I've looked on Kamen Rider wiki, and they have like a bunch of forms, and like his basic form, you know, the one that like looks like Rider 1, you know, classic grasshopper green, has like, you know, there's Impact, which is like that base one where he gets like the big muscles. There's Transform, where he seems to have weird shapeshifting stuff, and there's Wing, where he has like a cape that turns into wings. And those are like the physical ones, and then there's like a blue suit that has 3 separate things as well. So that's probably how it's going to be. There's different suits, and each one has like 3 different like variants that do different things.
Right.
And eventually we'll get a super form, but that's not for a bit.
Oh yeah, we won't get super form for like another like 12 episodes at least?
At least. But Transform, it looked cool. This episode, actually, I was expecting things to go like kind of an immediate downgrade in terms of budget, but we still had a lot of glowing lights. We still had a lot of the like CG muscles for impacts.
We still had the smoke during the henshin, and that's rad.
And there's Transform with its spike stuff, and we see in the preview, because I watched the preview.
Yeah.
We see more of Transform in the next, and he's going like, I don't know, Mr. Fantastic on the guy's ass. Like he's making big fists and stuff like that.
Yeah.
He's gone full stretchy man. It's good. Obviously, as things go, I think we'll get less and less of this. I mean, we already immediately switched to daytime shots, right?
Yeah.
The fight was in broad daylight. It was not at night the way the first episode was.
Mm-hmm.
And that's just because that kind of filming is hard, and it's much easier to film during the day.
Yeah.
And it was during a very standard, like, urban setting. Like, it was a very classic Rider setup in terms of where they were fighting and stuff.
Mm-hmm. I did notice that the blood moon is probably going to signify that they are within a dream.
Yeah, I think we see the weird moon, like where it's like kind of like concave.
Yeah.
Like if we see the moon, we're in a dream, and if it's a blood moon, then there's a nightmare present. Like that's how we can always tell. That would be my guess.
Mm-hmm.
And I think I'm right on that.
Now there is one other thing I noticed last week. So Baku is wearing a ring with the number 7 on it, and I don't know how relevant that is going to be, other than he's codename number 7.
He's codename number 7. He's also Reiwa Rider 7.
Yep.
So I think that's might just be it. It could just be a fashion thing. It might not have any more significance beyond that.
Yeah, I just thought I'd mention it because despite watching episode 1 like 2-3 times last week and then getting the podcast ready, I noticed, hey, Baku's wearing that big fat ring with the number 7 on it, styled in the way the finisher looks, where it came up 777 and then it turned into ZZZ.
I noticed he had a ring. I did not notice that it had 7 on it, but
yeah,
I just assumed it. I just assumed it was an incidental piece of jewelry,
Mm-hmm.
and it probably still is. It just has 7 because he likes 7.
Yeah.
I doubt it'll be like super relevant. So we get more of the police officers here.
Yes. Working out of the back of a truck.
Working out of the back of the truck because their department is a bit of a joke, I guess. It's probably viewed as a bit of a joke. And the woman is very upset about this. She does not like... She thinks she's been demoted, effectively, like, given a shitty job and pushed to the side.
Mm-hmm.
Which, fair enough. She's kind of funny. I like how angry she is in, like, most scenes. And then Fujimi, he is weird.
Yeah.
He's very intense. He's very intense about finding the nightmare stuff. I'm still a little unsure as to how he knows anything about nightmares, right?
Yeah.
Like, it feels like he just knows it for some reason, and I'm not sure why. I guess there may be people where, like, a mysterious thing happened to them, and then shortly afterwards they went out and committed crime because they got taken over by their nightmare, right?
Right.
And that somehow led him to coming up with this idea. Or there's someone else involved. Maybe there was a previous member of the paranormal investigation squad.
And
right?
then he got assimilated by a nightmare.
Yeah, something like that. Maybe that's the case.
Mm-hmm.
And we would learn more about that later. We might learn more about that in the next episode because it's probably more about Fujimi and why he's dreaming about a bomber blowing up the police precinct.
Oh, he's just upset that his office is inside the back of a van now.
I don't know. He doesn't seem too bothered by it. I do like the scene where he's talking to Baku and they're like they're both freaking out about same dream.
Yo, same dream?
Oh my god. They're just like so like weird and hype. When he learns that there's a nightmare and he just turns around and like goes on his knees and like pumps his fist in excitement about it.
Yeah.
It's great. I really like that scene.
So, our Zeztz upgrade is going to be tied to gacha mechanics?
I mean, they're tied to the gotcha machines in some way because that's how we got them.
Yeah.
I guess it's just like what's stopping him from pulling like 20 of them at once.
Mm-hmm. Maybe he
Um,
gets some sort of like reward from beating the nightmares.
yeah, that would maybe be how I would think it would work. You know, like, every episode he's like, "Oh, you beat a nightmare, you get to pull on the gotcha,"
Mm-hmm.
and that's how he'll get like all his like base forms, and then like, you know, his whatever his first like super form is will be from something more story relevant than just out of the gotcha machine.
Mm-hmm.
I guess then, if we're talking about that,
I'm trying to remember what they're called. Well, what are the bad guys from O's again? It's been a while.
the greeds.
The greeds, because when you beat the greeds, you got the medallions, the coins, and then you could spend those on Candroids.
Yeah, yeah.
So I think it's same idea.
Actually, the greeds are like the generals. I actually kind of forget what the monsters of the week and O's were called. It doesn't matter here. But yeah, there could be something towards that. It could just be that the bike authorizes him to pull another one, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's probably something they didn't think like that hard about. It was just like, okay, get a new power up because we want to sell toys,
Yeah.
right?
But yeah, the bike's a robot.
Yeah, I I mean he's being controlled remotely somewhere by someone.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, some other magical dream guy that wants our main character to do stuff. But yeah, he was cool. I liked him. I like that our main character's like, I can only understand English in the dreams.
Yeah.
I don't know it in real life. I'm sorry. But then immediately once they're back in the dream, he starts speaking English again.
Yep.
I guess Zero just likes speaking English. Yeah, he explains everything effectively. Like he explains everything we already talked about, so no need to go over that. But I liked him. He was kind of funny. What was that joke where he just sits down and starts making
starts making vroom
fucking...
vroom noises.
Yeah, he just starts going vroom vroom, and the main character gets on. He's like, "Well, it's just a witty joke."
It was a great joke.
What? Truly, very witty. I was impressed.
I do like how his color schemes are the exact same as Kamen Rider Mach, with the white and red.
Yeah, yeah, it is.
It was
I mean,
very reminiscent of that. And I'm like, okay, yeah, they're gonna go and be like, oh, the motorcycle transformation rider, and like it's been 10 years or 11 years since that, so like it's a nice callback.
I don't know how much of a callback it is, as opposed to maybe just like a motorcycle color scheme in general. Like maybe that's just a popular motorcycle color scheme, and that's why Mach also had that color scheme.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know exactly how much like overt references we're getting. Obviously, the main character, you know, he looks a lot like, you know, he has a very classic rider look.
Yeah.
You know, he's clearly grasshopper themed, black, green, red. So like, that's all there. But I'm not sure how much like other things are referencing other stuff. I didn't think transform looked to be a reference to anything.
No.
Right. So yeah, I'm not sure how much this is going to call back to anything, but it could just be a popular motorcycle color scheme, or maybe it is an overt reference. I don't know. Either way, I kind of like the character. I find him, he's kind of funny. The witty joke was weird. It's strange. It's still strange to have long instances of dialogue just in pure English.
Mm-hmm.
I can see that dying out as things go on, just because Japanese children probably would prefer to hear Japanese as opposed to reading subtitles. But that's a very minor issue. I like the Nightmare's design. I like the way he looks.
Mm-hmm.
I thought he looks pretty cool. He's like, he has all like red and blue all over him. I guess that's referencing like, you know, cut the blue wire or cut the red wire when it comes to like diffusing a bomb.
Mm-hmm.
So like I'm pretty happy with the enemy design so far. I hope that it sticks around. Again, I found Rider lately, you know, it has Monsters of the Week for a while, and then it kind of phases them out to go more just Rider versus Rider, or Rider versus reoccurring villain.
Yeah.
So hopefully we get more Monsters of the Week, or it looks like it might go back to that. There's like an era where a monster would stick around for like 2 weeks at a time. The monster of the fortnight.
Yeah.
Maybe that'll stick around a bit. That seems what's going on now. Who knows? We haven't actually beaten this monster yet, so we don't have an idea as to the exact flow. we're still kind of setting everything up. The main character is still a little bit clueless as to what's going on.
Mm-hmm.
And so are we. I think the action scenes were good. I enjoyed them all.
Rider action's always good. Cool motorcycle chase.
We had a nice motorcycle chase where he jumped on the car, smashed the window, ripped the door off. He became a police barricade with his spiky legs. So like I've been generally pretty happy with the action so far, which is good because, you know, it's a show that's somewhat centered around that. You know, a big part of it is just watching guys in suits punch each other. So that part better be pretty good. Okay, so now that we're kind of done discussing the new rider, we're pretty happy with it and looking forward to new episodes. Gozyuger,
Yeah.
episode 30. So, Yellow, you just this week watched all of Gozyuger because you hadn't watched any of it. So, I guess how quickly share your thoughts on the series a little bit before we go fully into episode 30.
All right. So, Gozyuger is my first Sentai series that I'm watching all the way through. And so far, it's been pretty rad. I'm not getting a lot of the references because it's the 50th anniversary series. And, like, yeah, I'm getting, like, the main plot of it. Like, oh, you gotta collect all the rings so you can have your wish come true. But I'm not getting any of the callbacks at all.
It's one of the things I dislike about anniversary series is, you know, callbacks and stuff are a bit iffy. To be fair, I don't find any of them to be super plot critical, right?
Mm-hmm.
You didn't really need to watch Shinkenger to like get what was going on when Fire Candle became Shinken Red. That was fine. It wasn't really calling anything back that much to Shinkenger. It was more about Fire Candle just wanting to be more powerful in that particular instance. But yeah, no, I've largely found Gozyuger to be an entertaining series. It can be pretty weird at times.
Yeah. Like, I've found a lot of the episodes are really, really fun. Like, all that stuff at the beginning with the Prime Minister and Happy Sunshine. And, like, the Prime Minister, top 10 character in the series so far. and that,
Yeah,
like, there's not a lot of characters so far that are, like, really entertaining like that. Like, the main team's fine. I have no qualms with any of them.
Yeah, I do like the main team. I wouldn't say any of them are like going into like my favorite Sentai characters ever kind of level. They're all entertaining enough, and a lot of them are building their like subplots in the background of whatever's going on with Blue and Black and like the sister and brother.
Yep.
That's a plot line that's going on, and obviously right now we're in a big thing for Yellow.
Right, yep. Because the summer movie was relevant. Didn't watch the summer movie. Oops.
Yeah, I almost never watch the movies. Sometimes they reference them. It's never generally that important. In this case, it's more just important of at some point in that movie, it seemed like Sword died, but I guess he got better at the end of the movie.
Yeah,
so that's
he
fine.
got better, and Ryugi's like, you know what? I need to challenge you to a ring battle because I need to make sure Sword's gonna be good.
Yeah, it's kind of his whole thing was like, you know, I need to win in order to make Sword great, or someone needs to win so that Sword can be at his true power. So we just need to, I don't know, accelerate this shit. We need to start fighting. So he challenged Wolf to a fight and lost.
Yep.
And then we get to this episode. Let's actually talk about 30. We get a new Yellow out of literally nowhere. He's an alien from a planet that's all about tea, and he's kind of an asshole with no common sense. His thing of just going up to random people and being an ass was very funny.
So the villain this week, the Mochi Pounding #1.
Yeah, Mochi Pounding #1. Yeah, the number ones are there's some weird ones there. He's pretty weird too. They're doing a lot more. The villain is like actively harming a lot of people.
Yes.
There were some early on where the villain didn't seem to really be harming people that much. He was just being weird. But
Yeah.
now it's like a lot more overt. He's turning people into mochi and he's hitting them.
Yeah, and the other
Or
week,
the
it was the one that was turning them into like flowers and stuff.
Yeah, so getting a
So
lot more overt in them being evil, which is good. And yeah, this episode kind of addressed the fact that the number one battles kind of have nothing to do with the plot in a lot of ways.
yeah.
They're just there, and I mean, it's basically described as a beautiful detour, which fair enough, uh, because they are generally really fun. I love in this series whenever they start the number one battles and the cheerleaders show up and they the hype man starts screaming about number one.
Yeah.
It's great. I love that. It's so stupid. It's
So the design of Mochi Pounding number one is based on a rabbit. Do you
yes.
know anything about the connection between rabbits and mochi?
I know there is a thing of like rabbits pounding mochi on the moon
Yes.
or something in like Japanese folklore.
So
Something
like
about like the way the shadows of the moon look. It looks like a rabbit pounding mochi or something.
that's exactly what it is. It's like over here in
Okay.
the West, it's like, oh, you have the man in the moon. But in a lot of East Asian cultures, in Chinese and Korean and Japanese, it looks like a rabbit.
Something about like a rabbit holding like the big kind of mochi style mallet
Mm-hmm.
and hitting it. And they definitely chose mochi for this because it's hitting things with a hammer, which is, Yellow's weapon is a hammer.
Mm-hmm.
And that was a big thing at the end when I keep switching between whether I'm calling them their animals or their color.
Right.
But whatever, it doesn't matter.
No, it's
Um,
if people are watching this, they understand that Tyranno
yeah.
is yellow.
Yeah. So like the new Tyranno shows up and he's like he gets it. He joins in and he uses his hammer to pound the mochi, exactly like you would expect,
Mm-hmm.
because it's about hitting things with a hammer, and that's what he does, and he's strong. But this character kind of just felt like really pointless because he dies at the end of the episode.
Yeah, Ray comes out of nowhere and it's like, you know what? Get ready to die.
Ikadakimasu, get in my ring. Now Blue's brother Ray, now he's yellow.
Mm-hmm.
He's Tyranno, or something like that. And Ryuji's coming back next episode. He's a doctor now, so we'll have our true Tyranno back probably by the end of next episode, or maybe the episode after that. I don't know how long this plot line's gonna go.
I'm gonna say probably another 2 episodes, because no way they're just gonna beat Ray in one episode. Ray deserves more than one to wrap that up, because it's pretty critical to both Blue and Black.
Yeah, they might beat him in such a way that they get the Tyranno ring back, but they might not beat him like for real. I don't know where that ring of his came from. Like, he has this weird ring that lets him consume the rings and turn them all into like one.
Like I don't think it has anything to do with the Bryden, because they already have Goryudo.
Yeah. So I think it's like a completely separate, like a third evil thing going on, and we'll see how that goes. I'm interested. Like, I want to know where it came from. We now kind of know what the Bryden are about. They want the rings to make Tegajun more powerful so that she can like recreate the world and make it perfect.
Mm-hmm.
But we don't know anything about this weird, I don't know, void ring or something that has no image and can consume rings. And we don't really know anything about Ray, like, at all.
No, he's just the guy with gray eyes.
It's the guy with gray eyes, and, Blue didn't save him at some point. Whatever that means. Makes me think that he's actually, like, dead, like a weird ghost thing.
It has happened several times so far, where someone's just been dead.
I also want to know why he wants Black's sister, like, at all, right?
Yeah.
Why is she important? Why does he have her kidnapped? Something to do with somehow keeping him alive, I guess.
Well, it's like the, what is it? The Shinkenja ring was keeping her out of a coma.
Yeah.
Something about the power of the rings. Maybe something about her herself.
Yeah, there's not that much to go on for it. We just have to wait and see what they actually reveal. And, next episode, he seems to be more of the main villain of that episode, so he'll be important again. and we'll learn more about him. We see the owner of the cafe and her kid again. They almost like never show up.
Yeah, they don't show up very often. Like the kid shows up a little bit more than the owner. But like
Yeah.
it's a cafe, but also like a place where you can get like a room for rent. Because like Red lives upstairs.
Yeah, I think they just had a spare room.
Mm.
Like I don't think it's like an inn that you can stay that anyone could stay there. It's just that they had a spare room and Red is renting it out. Overall, Gozyuger, I have had a really good time with it. I find a lot of the episodic plots are fun. They're silly and weird, but that's entertaining. I would say its like main plot is maybe moving kind of slow.
It's been very episodic.
Yeah, the no ones kind of show up and they do stuff, but there hasn't been too much progress outside of the one time when June was just like, okay, it's time to get married, and then uh, good a burn,
Yeah, good to burn.
good to burn show gets born. That was like the big like okay, a plot is happening episode, and then it feels a little stagnant from there. Like not much has really happened. They deal with the no ones, and some things are kind of building in the background.
Yeah, like there is like some plot progression with Fire Candle and Bouquet, like just on their own, but not really for like the Bryden as a whole.
Yeah.
Like what is Shining Knife and Sweet Cake doing other than just like showing up and getting big every once in a while?
Yeah, I feel like that's a character that's not going to get much. I think a Fire Candle and Bouquet will be they're characters that I like, and I like them like not just as villains but as like characters. Like I like when they're on screen. I've enjoyed their presence. So there's going to be some kind of like I almost feel like some kind of redemption for them in some way. And maybe the Bryden as a whole in some sense. The no ones are weird, but they're also like strange incomplete beings. So perhaps there's a way to like fix them as a whole.
And like a lot of the AI, they don't seem all that bad of people.
Yeah. But again, that's some end game stuff. We're not at that yet. We still have like 20 more episodes to go.
Yeah.
But overall, I found this to be an entertaining episodic episode that basically its core message was episodic episodes are good.
Yeah.
They're fun. Screw you if you don't like them. And, fair enough, because they are good and fun. That's why I'm enjoying the show, even though I sometimes find its actual plot is maybe moving a bit slow. But to be fair, 50 episodes is a lot. Most Sentai plots move pretty slow because they have to have 50 episodes.
I wonder what's gonna go on with Garyudo. Cause like he has that big X scar on his back. And we haven't really seen it since that one time it was brought up like 10 episodes ago.
Yeah, he hasn't really done that much lately. Like he removed Bouquet's memory, and he's just generally been kind of a horrible person. But I'm not sure what his like end goal is necessarily. I don't know how like truly loyal he is to June.
Like, does Ray have anything to do with him?
Yeah, who knows? They could be completely separate things because Ray doesn't seem to have any connection to like no ones and stuff. But who knows? But we can both agree that in Gozyuger, Fire Candle's the best, right?
Oh, 100%.
He's just so cool.
Very charismatic. He is easily the best character in this show.
Yeah, I love when Fire Candle shows up. He's this weirdly good comrade. It's not something that you see a lot in villains. Villains are often like all the villains like slightly hate each other and are kind of scheming and backstabbing. The Bryden are like friends. Like they all kind of like each other. It's weird outside of Garuda.
So like, what was it the other week when there was the murder mystery episode?
That wasn't the other week. I think that was a while ago.
Yeah, it was the other week. I swear. And he just like shows up at the at the cafe and lights an incense for his fallen homie.
Yeah. He's great. He's such a bro. I'd work with Fire Candle.
Oh, easily. I'd work with Fire Candle.
Although I maybe wouldn't want to because all his comrades die from the main characters.
Just stay in No One World, it's fine.
In general, Gozyuger's been really fun. I want to see more plot progression. I just want things to happen. I want us to advance the world state or something like that. And, it's going to happen. There's 20 episodes left.
Yeah,
We'll
we're not in the wrap up yet. We're still escalating.
And, unlike Rider, there's never as many like power-ups and stuff, right? We do have a power-up in this show.
Yeah, it's
but it's not like Rider where people constantly are getting new forms, and new forms can kind of punctuate story beats. Sentai is always a lot more episodic. So
now the power-up that Red has with the Orca booster, does that come from anything, or is that like?
No, I think that's original.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I had a moment of trying to think, like, is this from something? But no, I think it's fully original.
All right. So how do you feel about Polar?
Oh, Polar, he's all right. He's not he's not like the worst sixth I've ever seen, but he's just kind of there.
Yeah, that's the problem I have with him, is he's just kind of there. Like, he shows up, but he doesn't do too much. Other than, cheat on Good Burn with his father, and then Good Burn gets upset.
Yeah. That was funny. Yeah, no, he can be kind of entertaining in some of his, like, gimmicks and stuff, but I feel like he hasn't truly, like, he hasn't left that much of an impact to me. And he's not, like, a Six Ranger that makes me, like, really excited for him showing up. I would be completely fine with him not being around. He's just doesn't leave much of an impact to me. But we'll see as time goes on.
I'm just glad that Barakuma hasn't shown up in a couple episodes. I hate that guy.
You don't like his stupid little toy that doesn't shut up?
No, I don't like Barakuma. Get out of here.
That's funny.
No one likes you.
He's a bit annoying. He was the murderer. What an asshole.
I know, right? And then they just forgive him.
Well, no one really died, so...
And no one's ever really gone.
That episode was weird. But whatever, it was fun.
So, Blue, is there any other stuff that we have to talk about for this week?
Not that I can think of. You have anything?
Please, Yellow, come back.
Yeah, and Yellow's gonna come back. It's inevitable. As soon as he left, I was like, that's not sticking. We don't get that. Like, there are some earlier Sentais where, like, someone had to leave production and they replaced them with, like, someone else, a new actor who was, like, a new character. That has happened, like, twice or something. I don't know.
Like, what was that one you and I were watching a while back where Yellow just died?
Yeah, we were watching Bioman, and Yellow just dies because the actress left for some reason. I'm not sure anyone knows. But yeah, I don't think it happens anymore. I think, like, the contracts are pretty, like, ironclad. The only way a character would leave is if something really horrible happened to the actor. Or, they're not a main character and the character dies in the show or something. Like,
yeah.
But anyway. That's all fine. Yellow will be back. He'll continue to praise Lord Take a Sword, and all will be right with the world.
Yeah.
Okay, so that has been the second episode of Discussion Sentai Loserger. If you liked it, please leave a like, subscribe to the channel. It would be fantastic. And, leave a comment if you have anything you want to say about the two episodes we talked about, or just Tokusatsu in general. I've been Loser Blue.
And I've been Loser Yellow.
See ya.
Bye.